When Xiaomi and Leica moved beyond a simple partnership and began working in a more deeply integrated way, expectations naturally went up. So with the Xiaomi 17 Ultra arriving almost 3 months earlier than anyone anticipated, the big question is, how good is it really? More importantly, can it become a practical tool for photography lovers, maybe even replacing a dedicated camera for some users? Let's take a quick but focused look at what the Xiaomi 17 Ultra brings to the table. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Mickey from TechMakey. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. Starting with the design, this generation doesn't lean as heavily into a camera-first look like earlier Ultra models did. Instead, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra feels more restrained and understated. The back is clean and minimal, and the camera bump is noticeably smaller. Even with a factory-installed screen protector, the phone measures just 8.3 millimeters thick, which is 1.2 millimeters thinner than the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. That's a pretty significant reduction. Its thickness is now similar to this year's Pro models, and in daily use, it no longer feels overly bulky like older Ultra flagships. The camera module sticks out by about 6 millimeters from the back. On the durability side, the phone supports IP66, IP68, and IP69 ratings for water resistance. The frame uses a brushed metal finish, and one interesting change is the move from a single combined power and volume button to separate buttons. These are positioned slightly higher, and the tactile feedback feels more precise. Both the front and back of the phone now use a flat design. The fiberglass back panel, combined with a larger R9 layout, gives the phone a more balanced and refined look overall. With the screen protector on, it weighs 226 grams, which is lighter than previous Ultra-sized models and roughly in line with this year's Pro devices. In the hand, the edges are slightly curved, but the phone itself is still on the wider side. As expected, a flagship Ultra model won't feel as comfortable to hold as a standard version, but the noticeable reduction in weight and thickness this year makes a big difference. Ever since Xiaomi teamed up with Leica on the Xiaomi 12 Ultra, its flagship camera phones have gained instant recognition for their distinct Leica-inspired visual style. That signature look has been refined and carried forward through multiple generations, and it's still very striking at first glance. This time, though, the camera setup has changed. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra moves from a quad camera system to a triple camera layout. At first, you might wonder why one camera was removed, but Xiaomi's goal here was actually to achieve more, not less. The key upgrade is the new 200 megapixel Leica APO ultra-large sensor telephoto lens. Unlike previous designs that relied heavily on digital cropping, this lens covers the entire optical focal length range from 75 millimeters to 100 millimeters. In the camera interface, tapping the 3.2 by 75 millimeter option reveals additional choices at 3.7x 85 millimeters, 3.9x 90 millimeters, and 4.3x 100 millimeters. These four classic golden focal lengths are all listed directly and are achieved entirely through optical zoom using a single telephoto lens. And it doesn't stop there. Any focal length between 75 millimeters and 100 millimeters is optical, not digital, and all of them support the full 200 meg resolution. This isn't the old-style digital crop approach. Even when you zoom in and examine the details closely, there's no obvious smearing or blur. What makes this possible is a stepless, crop-free optical zoom system that works by adjusting the internal optical path. To better show how this works, imagine sliding through a video zoom from 75 millimeters all the way to 100 millimeters. You can clearly see how smooth the transition is. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra doesn't need to constantly switch between different lenses, which keeps image quality consistent and makes zooming feel far more fluid than older multi-lens solutions. Compared to previous generations, the improvement in smoothness is easy to spot. Despite the massive 200 megapixel sensor, the default shooting mode is still 12.5 megapixels, just like most competing phones. This helps balance image quality and performance. When you compare 50 megapixels and 200 megapixel zoom shots side by side, the difference is clear. In real-world use, you can choose the resolution based on lighting conditions and the scene. For important shots where maximum detail matters, switching to 200 megapixel makes sense. So how does the image quality actually stack up? We compared the Xiaomi 17 Ultra against flagship phones from Apple, Samsung, Vivo, and even Xiaomi's own 15 Ultra across multiple focal lengths. We also included models that use 200 megapixel sensors at similar zoom ranges. First up was the comparison with the Vivo X200 Ultra. The two phones clearly have different imaging styles, each with its own strengths. Xiaomi's images appear cleaner and sharper overall, while Vivo delivers stronger contrast between highlights and shadows. In terms of fine detail, Xiaomi has a slight edge. Next, we compared the Xiaomi 17 Ultra with the previous Xiaomi 15 Ultra, focusing on digital cropping versus the new optical zoom system. At 3.2x and 75 millimeters, the advantage of the new large sensor is immediately obvious, with fuller exposure and more complete detail. Switching to another scene and moving to the 85 millimeter focal length, the difference becomes even more noticeable. Compared to the 15 Ultra's digital crop, the 17 Ultra shows clearer details and sharper text edges. At 90 millimeters, the improvement is even more pronounced, especially in areas like wall tiles, where the added sharpness stands out clearly. Finally, at the 4.3 by 100 millimeter focal length, things get more interesting. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra used a dedicated fourth telephoto lens here, while the Xiaomi 17 Ultra continues to rely on the same telephoto lens we've been discussing. This time, the white balance on the 17 Ultra looks more accurate, with no reddish tint in the wall tiles. However, when you look very closely, the overall detail advantage isn't as dramatic. That's understandable since the 15 Ultra's telephoto hardware was already quite strong. Switching to night scenes makes the differences even clearer. This is where zoom performance really matters. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra delivers a completely black sky, and when zooming in on details like roof eaves, it clearly outperforms the previous generation and competing models. The improvement is obvious. In comparison, Apple and Samsung phones tend to struggle more with noise at these zoom levels. Xiaomi's two U-series models have their own strengths, and the 15 Ultra's fourth telephoto lens benefits from a larger aperture at this focal length. As a result, when it comes to shadow texture and fine detail, the 17 Ultra's performance is solid but not exceptional. Beyond long-distance shooting, this telephoto lens also supports macro photography from as close as 30 centimeters. Continuing with real-world samples and competitor comparisons, we looked at portraits taken at the classic 85mm focal length. When placed side by side, which look do you prefer? Personally, I find myself leaning toward Vivo's shots here, especially for the mood and the stronger sense of light and shadow on the subject's face. Let's switch to another shooting scenario and also take a look at how facial rendering is handled. To put it simply, this telephoto lens delivers excellent straight-out-of-camera results at the preset 75mm, 85mm, and 90mm focal lengths. These shots look clean, detailed, and well-balanced without needing extra adjustments. However, when you push it to the longest 100mm focal length, especially in certain portrait scenes, there's still some room for refinement. After spending time on the greatly improved telephoto performance, let's move on to the main camera. It continues to use a classic 1-inch sensor with ultra-large light intake, paired with the new LightHunter 1050L sensor and super sensing technology. In simple terms, the dynamic range has taken a noticeable step forward. When comparing it directly with Apple, Xiaomi clearly retains more detail across bright and dark areas. For example, there's no blown-out exposure on the bright side of a doorway. This gives Xiaomi's main camera a clear advantage in high-contrast situations like concerts, fireworks, or tunnels, where large differences in brightness are common. Compared to other brands, Xiaomi's images feel more natural and comfortable, preserving the warmth of firelight while maintaining clear separation between highlights and shadows. Continuing with complex lighting environments, two Xiaomi Ultra models with 1-inch sensors are quite similar in terms of sharpness. The real difference shows up in highlight control. In light show scenes, the previous generation 15 Ultra noticeably overexposes the brightest areas, while the newer model handles them more gracefully. Now let's talk about the ultra-wide camera. Compared with the previous generation, it still uses the GN5 sensor with a 14mm equivalent focal length rather than continuing with the 17mm used elsewhere in the 17 series. Earlier, we mentioned that the wide-angle range on the 17 series felt a bit limited, so this return to 14mm provides a noticeably wider field of view. Looking closely at edge sharpness, this ultra-wide camera is, in my opinion, the strongest among its competitors. Even though the hardware is the same as on the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, the software processing has clearly been improved. Finally, let's move on to video performance. We'll start with a direct comparison against Apple. Which one do you think looks better? Go ahead and type 12 to vote. When we sum it up, the two phones are actually very close in overall video quality. That said, in low light conditions, especially when shooting high dynamic range scenes like light shows or fireworks, the main camera's advantage becomes more obvious. Video stabilization has been a common complaint in the past, but this year Xiaomi has clearly focused on fixing that. Previously, when super stabilization was enabled on several generations of Xiaomi flagships, video quality dropped sharply to just 1080p at 30 frames per second. This time, Xiaomi finally adds a 2.8K 60 FPS super stabilization option, bringing it in line with major global brands. Once again, we'll compare it directly with Apple and make it a blind test. Type in which side you think Xiaomi performs better. Personally, I still believe stabilization is a critical part of the video experience. After covering the core imaging features, let's shift to the system and see what's new. First up is the Super Xiao AI photo editing feature. Simply open Xiao AI in the gallery and you can edit photos using voice commands. It's straightforward, fast, and surprisingly intuitive. Let's take a closer look at how it works. Next is the upgraded ecosystem connectivity. Xiaomi now offers a notification experience that feels similar across devices from different brands. The real difference is in message replies. Traditionally, most cross-device setups only allow you to view notifications, not respond to them. Xiaomi changes that by allowing you to reply directly to messages from an iPhone on your Xiaomi phone, similar to apps like WeChat, QQ, and Lark. This means you no longer need to pick up your other phone just to send a quick reply, which is genuinely convenient. Some might point out that only 3 apps are supported right now, which is fair. But Xiaomi then introduces a much bigger feature. You can directly control your Xiaomi phone's screen from an iPhone. As long as both devices are on the same local network, tapping Show Desktop mirrors the Xiaomi phone's display onto the iPhone. The latency is impressively low, with smooth performance at around 60 frames per second. In real-world use, this is handy for things like displaying transit QR codes or remotely controlling the camera. Additional features include two-way location tracking between Xiaomi and iPhone, as well as quick document transfers using tap-based sharing. So why consider pairing an iPhone with your next Xiaomi phone? On top of that, if you're using 2 Xiaomi devices, you also get Xiaomi's dual-device navigation. This setup supports cross-device messaging, replies, and even desktop mirroring between 2 phones. Just swipe down and open the Magic Launcher to get started. If Xiaomi eventually adds cross-device call answering, this ecosystem would be nearly unbeatable. For now, calls are still handled through notification prompts. When it comes to the display, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra shares the exact same panel specifications as the 17 Pro Max. That said, it's a bit disappointing that Xiaomi didn't go with a full 2K screen this time. The unit we're showing here is the dark color version, which makes the bezels look slightly thicker than they really are. The screen measures 6.9 inches, with a resolution of 2608 by 1200, a 120 Hz refresh rate, a pixel density of 420 ppi, and support for Xiaomi's Super Pixel technology. Looking at real-world brightness, the maximum manual brightness in full screen mode reaches about 677 nits. Under strong lighting conditions, such as in a bright studio or computer room, it can get close to 1200 nits. At the moment, these numbers feel fairly average, which may be due to the early test firmware. We'll likely see updated results once the official software is released. As for color reproduction, we compared it directly with an iPhone, and you can judge for yourself which look you prefer. In terms of eye protection, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra enables global DC dimming by default. There's also a Pro mode in the display settings that works with adaptive refresh rates. When this mode is turned on, the screen can switch to 2160 Hz high-frequency PWM dimming, giving users more flexibility depending on their eye comfort needs. Performance-wise, Xiaomi goes all in with top-tier hardware. The phone is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, paired with LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4.1 storage. A quick look at benchmark results shows a Geekbench 6 single-core score of 3765 and a multi-core score of 111,062, which firmly places it in flagship territory. In 3D Mark tests, this year's Snapdragon chips actually score a bit lower than Axon devices, but the Xiaomi 17 Ultra performs exactly as expected within the Snapdragon lineup. For gaming, lighter titles like Honor of Kings run effortlessly at a full frame rate, averaging 107.8 frames per second with just a 1% frame drop. After 30 minutes of gameplay, both the front and back of the phone stayed around 40 degrees Celsius with total power consumption at only 3 watts. Moving on to heavier games, Genshin Impact at very high settings and 660 FPS ran for half an hour at an average of 55.3 frames per second, again with a 1% frame drop. The rendering resolution here is the standard 1920 by 883. Temperature readings reached 43.8 degrees on the front and 43.2 on the back, with most of the heat concentrated below the camera module. Total power consumption in this scenario was 4.5 watts. Pushing the phone even harder, a 30-minute high-load test at maximum graphics and 60 FPS resulted in an average frame rate of 59.6 frames per second. Temperatures on both sides of the phone stayed under 45 degrees Celsius, while power consumption peaked at 5.42 watts. Overall, this is a fairly aggressive performance profile. That said, as an Ultra series device, the Xiaomi 17 Ultra is clearly designed with photography as its main priority. Personally, I don't think it's ideal for extended gaming sessions, mainly because of the large camera module. Of course, if you do want to game, it can handle all mainstream titles without any trouble, but there's definitely room for improvement in power efficiency. Battery life sees a solid upgrade this year. The Xiaomi 17 Ultra packs a 6,800 mAh battery, which is 800 mAh larger than the previous generation, and it uses 16% high-grade materials. In a mixed daily usage test that included 30 minutes each of web browsing, video recording, video playback, and high-load gaming, the battery dropped to 67%. Compared to last year's flagship, the improvement in endurance is quite noticeable. Still, as a camera-focused flagship, a large portion of internal space is dedicated to the camera system, so the battery capacity doesn't quite match that of the Pro version. Charging is another strong point. The phone supports 90 watts wired charging and 50 watts wireless charging, and Xiaomi includes a 100-watt charger in the box. More importantly, the wired charging supports the 90-watt PPS universal protocol, making it compatible with most third-party chargers on the market, which is a big plus. Charging from 1% to 100% takes about 1 hour, with full completion at roughly 1 hour and 5 minutes, reaching a peak charging power of 75 watts. As for pricing, the base version of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra in China starts at 6,999 yuan, which is roughly 738 pounds in the UK or about $996 in the US. The biggest imaging upgrades this year are focused on the main camera and the telephoto lens. The main sensor delivers better high dynamic range, while the new 200-megapixel zoom sensor and mid-telephoto lens finally achieve optical zoom across the entire focal range. In everyday use, it doesn't feel like a camera is missing at all. Visually, the phone now looks much closer to a typical flagship design, clean and understated, without being overly camera-focused. Most of the bold, camera-centric styling has been reserved for the special edition, which is clearly a deliberate compromise. After all, if every version looked like the special edition and prioritized the camera to that extent, the price would likely spiral out of control. If you're curious about the special edition, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing you a full review of the special edition Xiaomi camera very soon. See you in the next video.